The bandwidth for this episode of the AR-15 podcast is sponsored by the Firearms Radio Network. FirearmsRadio.tv.
Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Hardy, and with us today is our senior host, Reed Snyder. And this is our first of a new video series for us that are much shorter than our standard podcasts. And these are designed for us to highlight new and interesting products that we want to share with you, our listeners. Today we have with us for our first product, Jeff Weaver, president of Precision Ear. How are you doing this evening, Jeff?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing fabulous. Excellent, excellent. So tell us what Precision Ear does, Jeff.
Absolutely, guys. What I'd like to introduce to you, and you may or may not have seen it, is custom hearing protection, custom molded, custom hearing protection, and we've got a couple different options as far as custom molded, custom hearing protection is concerned. But the beauty of this product, guys, is that it's made specifically for your ears. It's custom molded to your ears, so the fit, the feel, the comfort level, it's all custom, and it's the new latest and greatest as far as hearing protection is concerned.
That's really interesting. Now, Reed, I know that you have. We just did a show on hearing protection, so this is really going to be really interesting, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You know, here's the thing that I'm always concerned with. You know, I think, Jeff, we've come to understand that you served in the military. I served in the Marine Corps. Not quite as long as you served in the Army, however. I think we both have been exposed to firearms in an unprotected fashion, and so I'm really kind of jealous of what hearing I have left, and I want to protect it very closely. So, and I'm not real satisfied with my options today.
Well, and guys, we're going to show you the new latest and greatest way to do that. We've got several options, and they're just fantastic. I can't tell you. I'm going to get some in your ears here soon. I know that. We've talked about that, and you guys are going to see firsthand how just amazing they are.
Yeah, so I know that this should help, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it should help solve some of those problems that we have. You know, we've got these big bulky things on like I've got on now, and I go down to get my cheek weld, and it pushes up, and I fire my 308, and suddenly my right ear is ringing like crazy, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Those days are gone. Those big hot sweaty cans, man. Give those to the neighbor. Let him have that experience, because we're gonna stop that. We're gonna allow you to get that cheek weld. We're gonna allow you to work weapons platform to weapons platform. We're gonna allow you to communicate with your range partner or your instructor, or if you're shooting a competition. We're gonna allow you to have that protection on at all times, but be able to talk and communicate and feel comfortable all day long.
And so,
now,
go ahead, Reed.
The product you have is called Defend Ear, and from my understanding, you have a number of options from a very modest side of that to a full-blown digital high-tech component that's added to the whole platform. Can you kind of run us through what Defend Ear is and what that spectrum of options looks like?
Absolutely. Anthony, you know, the biggest thing and probably the most important thing in starting at the ground base to how we do this, if I can kind of walk you through the process, we're going to start off by taking an impression of your ear, and that's the foundation for this whole process, for this whole Defend Ear product line. It's a laboratory-made product, but the first and foremost important thing to this process is getting an impression of the inside of your ear, and basically, for lack of a better words, a cast of the inside of your ear, because your right ear, your left ear are completely different from one another. From your ears to Reed's ears to my ears, everybody's ears are different. They're kind of like I often say your fingerprints, and so they're different. So we have to start with that foundation. We have to start with that ear impression. And so what we do is we're going to sit you down. We've got one of two ways. We'll talk a little bit more about this later, but one of two ways that we can make this impression happen. But first and foremost, we're going to stick into your ear what we call an auto block, and basically that's going to be inserted into your ear to what we call your second bend in your ear. That's where we want to make and maximize this protection that we're going to put in your ear. So if I show it to you here, it's a little tough to see, but it's this foam tip at the end of the plug here that you see, and it's got a little what we call tail that you can see here hanging off of it. We're going to insert that into your ear first, and then we're going to inject a medical grade silicone like you see here in my hand, and we're going to take an impression of the inside of your ear, and this is the fun part. It really, it's different. You've never had your ear totally occluded like this. You're going to hear this product kind of like a Rice Krispies effect as it's drying, but as you can see here in this impression, and I'm trying to hold up for you guys, is the impression of the inside of an individual's ear, and this right here is the foundation for this custom hearing protection that we're gonna explain here in more detail. But we're gonna start with that. We're gonna take that impression of both your ears, and that's the custom part of it, completely custom.
The reason you said that's so important, to go back to some of the discussions we've had about this, and one of the reasons this is so interesting to me is that I could go and grab some of those foam rubber things and stick those in my ear, and people say, oh, well, they mold to your ear when they fold out, but they don't really, right?
They don't. They don't, because Reed, you're going to stick those. Sometimes you're going to stick them in there sideways. Sometimes you're not going to get them in far enough. Sometimes they're not going to completely expand. They're going to have gaps. They're going to have areas where when we talk about total occlusion of the inside of your eardrum, they don't expand out to that. And you shot, you know what I'm talking about. We've all experienced that. When we put those in, and we think we've got protection, and the first time we ring off a shot on that 308 or that 3030 or that AR-15, and man, we're grabbing our ear and we're saying, dang, that was loud. We all know. You guys talked about it in your last podcast. I listened to it. I loved it. It was great information. But we know those decibel levels that we're talking about. We're up at 140 plus on a gunshot. And if you've got that right next to your ear, guys, we all know what it's like. It's miserable. And you're exactly right. Those foam plugs just aren't going to do it. They may give you some, but they're not going to give you what we're going to give you.
So we've got the product, the Defend Ear product that comes out, and there are several options that are available within that product. Can you kind of run us through what some of those options are, and just really briefly what some of the major uses of those options are?
Absolutely. What I'm going to show you first is a solid ear plug. This basically is a solid earpiece. Again, it's custom molded, custom made for your particular ear. Guys, you can see this is all solid. So when we say solid, we're talking the 27, 29, 30 plus range. We have to have all these plugs tested, and we have to stay within a certain range. You're going to be a little bit higher than the recommended range. We all know that, but this particular plug is going to put you 27, 29 year or 29 decibel range, and basically this is just a lanyard that we put on there so you can carry that around your neck while you're at the range. You don't have to worry about dropping or losing those. So this is our solid plug that we offer. It's all on the Defend Ear product line. So we start with a solid plug, guys. We've got several different options. We got a lot of things we can do with these particular pieces. Then we're going to move up into not only the custom colors for those ladies, for our better halves, our wives, our girlfriends, our significant others. Guys, we can customize these colors to no end. That's the beauty of it. But this is particular one is what we call a hunter passive. It's going to have a little bit less of a medical grade silicone, so you're going to get a little bit less attenuation on it. You're going to hear a little bit more. So we move into that line. The next line that we have that we offer and we offer this in 2 different models. And basically, if you take a look at our website, guys, you've got our brochures. This shows you, it's what we call our convertible comm. You see that this has 2 holes in it. The bottom hole is that carrier that we just talked about that we saw on the solid one. It's just a carrier for your lanyard. The top one is the most important hole. This is what we call our sound bore or sound tube, and it basically goes all the way down to the end of the plug. And inside there, what we've got is we've got an inline filter. That's what's going to give you the protection. There's a couple different things with this particular model. It functions as a dual-purpose plug. It has that inline filter, and that filter is only going to allow 80 to 85 decibels in your ear at any given time. So if you're a guy that's shooting IDPA, you're shooting 3-gun, you're a range master, you need to hear that communication while you're out there on the line. You can simply leave that lanyard in the bottom hole, and you're going to be able to talk and communicate. The other nice thing about that is we have some various levels, a high industrial one that we can put in there. So not only can we custom mold it to your ear, but we can customize that sound level of what we're going to let you hear, that 80 to 85 decibel range. So the other option to this is if you basically take that lanyard that we talked about, and it's as simple as we're going to take our plug, we're going to take our lanyard that we have here, and then we're just going to snap this into the top hole, and that vented plug that allowed us to talk and communicate and listen to those range commands is now going to be a solid plug. It's not working for me right this second because I'm showing you guys, but now we just put that plug in the top hole. You can see the bottom hole still there. Basically, this is now a solid ear plug. So in that open range, we went, basically we're saying, OSHA's saying 21 to 23 range as far as a dB rating. When we insert that plug to that top hole, we've raised that attenuation from a 27, 29, 30 range of attenuation. Again, you're still going to be able to hear if you're like myself. You know, Anthony, you and I talked about that military thing, 22 years in field artillery. It's a little bit tougher for me to hear. I can still hear an emergency situation or someone yelling or screaming or a whistle or anything of that nature, but we've raised that attenuation to that 27, 29 range.
Which is really fabulous, yeah. So that's your basic defend ear, and then you move over and you've really amped up the game there because you've also added the digital product line to this as well, right?
We have. Let me show you one last thing, and we talk about, guys, that we're not only is it custom made for you, but we've got a lot of custom features. I just want to show you one other feature that we can do here, and basically this is we can add music. We can add your iPhone, your iPod. We can add that to your custom earpiece if you're working in an industrial setting where you're going to not only use these for shooting but for work, as a lot of our customers do. We can add that radio to your earpiece so you can wear that custom ear protection all day long while you're at work and on the range. Or a lot of our shooters like to listen to music while they're out there, some of our skeet guys, so we can add that to it. But yes, Anthony, the next thing that you're going to see us step into is what we call our digital line. And basically, if you can see this, this is what we call our Peltor in your ear. It's a digital line, again, custom molded, custom made for your ears. But this particular piece has a little modular unit that snaps out. This works on a regular hearing aid battery. As you can see there, works off a hearing aid battery. Goodness, excuse me, it's got a volume control on it, so you can adjust the volume on it. The great thing about this, not only does it do the amplification and attenuation, so if a shot rings out, you're getting some amplification, you're hearing those range commands, but somebody shoots early, somebody pops off a round, it's going to slam shut in a New York minute. You're not going to get that blast. and then it's going to open right back up, give you that amplification again. So this particular model here, once we get a custom piece made for you, this basically just snaps into it like this, so you can share it with your friend, you can share it with your coworker, you can share it with that guy that you're shooting that competition with. But it also has one important model or feature to it, and that's what we call wind reduction. If you're out on the range, it's a windy day. We've all been there. We've all worn those big Peltor ears, and we hear that wind whisking across, and it's driving us nuts. We're trying to concentrate, on our shooting and everything. This has a wind reduction mode in it, and basically when that wind's whisking or it's hollering, you're not going to hear it. It blocks that out.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. I cannot imagine taking these huge Peltors that I wear every time I go to the range and just popping them down my ears. I mean, just the comfort level, I'm sure, with the custom molded, it's going to go through the roof. Plus the capability to have, even without the digital, just the full noise reduction and still have some communication capabilities because of that filter is really great. Now, when we're looking at this, our listeners, and Reed will attest to this, time and time again, have proven to us that they come from a very varied background, and so they give us all kinds of fabulous information all the time and prove to us just how smart they are. So I want us to keep that in mind when we talk about who will find this kind of thing useful. You talked about people in industry will find it useful. Shooters, obviously, of all sorts are going to find it useful. But I know you said police officers are going to find this kind of thing useful, right?
Absolutely. As a police officer myself, the particular models that we looked at, the Defendir, the convertible comms, just the convertible ones that go from the open to the closed, those are huge for SWAT and EOD guys. They can be able to hear what we call ambient sounds around them while they're wearing hearing protection. So if they're going to make entry into a home or something of that nature, they're going to deploy a flashbang or something like that. That sound isn't going to take them out of the fight. They're going to have that protection, but they're still going to be able to hear, their partners yelling clearers or clearing rooms and stuff of that nature. But we offer some radio communication pieces. This is a particular headset that some of our SWAT operators, some of our snipers wear, and basically what happens is there's another custom-made piece, and it's a communication piece. You can see here, this allows for you to hear ambient sounds while you're wearing this, but it puts that radio right into your ear, and it's amazing the difference that this makes in just being able to hear your radio. So we offer this in a couple different models. That particular piece that I showed you there is more for a patrol officer. Some of our SWAT guys, if you can see the difference on this, guys, when we talk about occlusion of your ear, this particular one that I'm shaking here, if you notice the size difference on these, I'm trying to get those for you to see, but the size difference on them, one is a total occlusion of your ear canal. The second one, this one here, is not totally occluded, so it's a little bit more ambient sound. But again, this particular one that has the total occlusion has an inline filter in it, so it's going to give you protection but let you listen to the radio. So it's a fabulous piece. And then we also work off some that do work off of Bluetooth. This particular models works off a wireless radio system that some of our snipers wear, and they can communicate to us, but they've got that protection as well.
And so you've got police officers. I know before you mentioned you've got some NASCAR customers. I can see a very wide application for this product across multiple industries. Now, tell us, it's coming up to Christmas time, right? I know we've got a lot of listeners out there that have the big muffs, and maybe they're looking for a present. If their wife is like mine, she wants a list of things that she can find and buy for me. So this will be something that can go on a lot of lists for us this Christmas. Tell us, what your website is, how people can find you, how they can go about ordering this product.
Absolutely. It's the name of our company is Precision Ear, and you can find us at precisionear.com. Take a look at our website. What we've got on there is we talked briefly about that the impression that we need to get. Guys, that's the foundation of these pieces. You'll see on our website we have not only shooting plugs, but we also have recreational plugs from swimming to sleeping to music products to motorcycle plugs. So we cover that spectrum, and it's all on our website at www.precisioneer.com. Take a look at that site. We've got what we call a do-it-yourself kit that you'll see on there. This do-it-yourself kit is that impression that we talked about. There's one of two ways that we can do that impression. We can either do it at one of our local shows. We travel throughout the spectrum on the shooting side. We do a lot of the gun shows. We've got people at gun shows and racing events and motorcycle events. So we cover that spectrum. But the biggest thing is if you can't get to us, we have a do-it-yourself kit that you can order online. It ranges from $27 to $30 right in there. You can order this kit. What we're going to do is we're going to send you out those components that we talked about, that injectable medical-grade silicone, that auto block. We're going to send you out everything that you need with the instructions and videos to reference. You can call us. We can video chat with you, whatever we need to do to make sure that we're getting that right. But we're going to get you out the impression material that you need to take that impression and get it back to us. We're going to take a look at it before you send it back to us, either by video or by text or pictures. Make sure that we got what we need, because that's the component. We've got to get a couple key things in there. Once we get that, we're going to have you send that directly to our lab so that we can manufacture that custom-made piece for you. The second way to do that is to go to a local audiologist. Anybody that does hearing aids, any local audiologist, a lot of veterans like ourselves, you can go to the VA and they'll make impressions at no charge. However, some of those audiologists do have a minimal fee to make those impressions. I've seen them run anywhere from $20, $30 up to $70. But that impression, once we get that impression, get it off to us. Take a look at our website again at precisioneer.com. See what you need. We'll get that made for you and get it back to you. We're going to offer a gift certificate, or if someone wants to purchase something for somebody for Christmas, take a look at our website, look at our gift certificates. Feel free to purchase one of those. We're going to work with you guys. What we're going to do, if that impression's not exactly what we need, we're going to get you out some more impression material. Once we get that perfect impression, we get it to our lab, we manufacture the piece, get it back to you. If it doesn't fit, if it's not comfortable, if it's not the most comfortable hearing protection that you've ever worn, we're going to take it back and we're going to work on it until we get it just right.
That's fabulous. So I can see the home kit being a great stocking stuffer, or a birthday gift, or a Valentine's Day gift as these holidays continue to come up, and you guys are watching this video later on through the year. So make sure you keep that in mind. And Jeff, we appreciate you being on. Reed, you got anything more for Jeff?
I tell you what, nothing but eagerness to try it out.
Yep, definitely.
Guys, we appreciate it. We appreciate the opportunity to talk to you again. Visit us at precisioneer.com. We're going to get you guys out some do-it-yourself kits. We're going to get some in your protection so you can let your listeners know firsthand what it's all about. We appreciate it.
Great, guys. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And this has been an AR-15 video podcast product highlight.